Hi, welcome to Yin Yoga. For today's practice, all you really need is a yoga mat, but a blanket would help, and maybe a couple blocks, maybe a bolster. But let's get started in an easy seated pose, Sukhasana. So taking that blanket, just sitting on the edge of it, holding it a couple times. And you sit on the edge of it to help tilt the pelvis forward, which lengthens the spine. The shoulders can relax down the back. And the top of the head can reach up towards the ceiling. You're drawing the chin in slightly. And bringing the palms down, maybe on the thighs, feel more grounded. You also have palms up to gather in more energy. Or even hand on top of hand, palms facing up with thumbs touching in the lap. Maybe bringing the eyes to a close, turning your attention within. And just finding your way towards witnessing your natural breath. Simply noticing your inhale, noticing your exhale. Ideally, you want to be breathing through the nose unless you're congested. But otherwise, just witnessing how you're breathing on a Wednesday. And noticing your inhale. Simply noticing your exhale. Breathing in, you might say to yourself, I am breathing in. Breathing out, you might say to yourself, I am breathing out. You might notice the temperature of the air as it goes in and out of the nostrils. And perhaps noticing the expansion of the belly on the inhalation and the contraction of the belly towards the spine on the exhalation. And just simply drawing your attention to your breath. As you breathe in, you might say to yourself, I am breathing in. And as you breathe out, you might say to yourself, I am breathing out. While you're here paying attention to your breath, seeing if you can simultaneously expand your awareness to include your entire physical form. So you're just giving yourself a little bit of a body scan from the head to the toes. Noticing any sensations in the body, any tightness or tension. Maybe just noticing the feeling of your clothes on your skin or the temperature and humidity in the room you're in, that effects on your skin. And your sense of comfort or discomfort in the posture you've chosen. Anything at all that's going on in your body. Slight aches or pain. letting the sensations in the body, along with the awareness of your breath, tying those two anchors together to help ground you in your practice today. Let me just take the palms of the hands together now to Anjali Mudra at the heart center. And just set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to gain, you'd like to let go of through your efforts and energy this morning. And then once your intention or dedication's been set, we'll just take a deep inhale through the nose and a deep exhale through the mouth, maybe with a sigh. And then opening the eyes. Welcome. And from here, we're just going to roll over on the hands and knees, maybe finding your bolster if you have your bolster. You don't need it though, but if you do, grabbing it. Take our blanket that we were sitting on, we'll open it up. Maybe just one more time, maybe two more times so that it's just off the edges of the mat. And then find our way to a wide-legged child's pose. Just bringing the toes together, knees apart. The knees might even be somewhat off the mat. You can either just come right down into your forehead here. That's all you need to do. If you have your bolster and you'd rather use your bolster, you can bring the bolster between the knees and then turn your head to one way or the other. We'll be here for about 3 minutes. So getting good and comfortable. Again, you don't need to use the bolster at all. You just have your forehead on the ground. And once you're here, just getting centered again. Turning your awareness back to your breath. Noticing your inhale. Noticing your exhale. And scanning the body for sensations. We're seeking to activate the deep connected tissues in our practice today. Activating the flow of chi through all those energy meridians in the body. We're going to do that in part by perennially scanning the body for sensations. You can always slightly adjust. The body opens up or needs to close down a little bit. If you're using a bolster and you get that inner cue to turn the other cheek, welcome to turn your head to the other side. Otherwise, you're just hanging out here, witnessing your breath, scanning the body for sensations. And the longer you hold the pose, the more it might open up. begin to deepen the breath, taking a deeper inhale and a deeper exhale. Slowly beginning with the elbows, bringing the knees a little bit closer in. We're just gonna elbow our way forward onto the belly. We're gonna take our first back bend of the practice today, which is gonna be two options. Either Sphinx pose, which is just resting on your forearms, palms down. You can use a block here underneath your forehead, so you don't even need to use the muscles in your neck to keep your head up. Another option is to go a little bit deeper in a seal pose. In seal pose, you have your palms to the outside edges of the mat, and you're lifting up, you're readjusting. And here you're noticing whether you want your feet to be a little closer together, or farther apart. Maybe you'd like to go a little deeper. You could even go back and forth between Sphinx and seal if you like. We'll just be here for about 3 minutes, and then we'll make a little pillow with our hands under our forehead and just come down to resting on the belly. So if you need to go there early, you can go there early. Otherwise, either hanging out in Sphinx or hands seal. You can always readjust. You don't have to be perfectly still like a statue. Readjust. Maybe find some stillness. And then once you're there, beginning to turn your attention back to your breath. Back to scanning the body for sensations. And here we're activating the kidney meridians in the body. Picking up all those energy channels crisscrossing the spine. And just listening to what your body wants to tell you today. Witnessing your inhale and your exhale. You know, if you've had enough of seal and you'd rather be in Sphinx, you go up to Sphinx. If you've had enough of Sphinx and you'd rather come up to seal, I'm going to try and find a little bit of stillness. Again, beginning to deepen the breath, taking a deeper inhale, a deeper exhale, and slowly coming down, making a little pillow with your knuckles, finding your way to resting the forehead, hanging out here for a moment. We're just gonna gracefully roll over onto our back. Maybe removing that blanket under you. I'm gonna play with banana asana. So banana asana We're gonna bring the arms up over the head. We're gonna take the hips to the left, right? And then we're just gonna walk the heels to the right. Walk the arms to the right. Just making a little C curve with the body, breathing more into the left side of the rib cage. You can even reach for opposite wrist to deepen the lean to the right. You can do the same with the crossing the ankles if you like. You don't have to do either. You can do one or the other. We'll just hang out here for about 2 minutes and then we'll switch to the other side. Again, we're just listening to the breath, listening to the body, and if there's a desire to find another edge or back off, listening to that inner teacher within. And beginning to deepen the breath, taking a deeper inhale, a deeper exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. And slowly let go of the wrist, let go of the head, walk the feet back to the center, hips back to the center. Before we take it to the other side, just taking a moment here to sense the sensations in the body. Noticing the rebound effect. How does one side feel versus the other side? And then we'll walk the hips to the right a little bit. And we'll walk the feet to the left a little bit. And the arms up over the head, and walk them over to the left. You can even reach for that right wrist. And breathing more into the right side of the rib cage now. And just hanging out here for a couple of minutes. Again, you don't have to be frozen. You can readjust. Noticing how the two sides feel different from each other. Noticing any sensations in the body. How does the posture affect the breath? And again, beginning to deepen the breath. Taking deeper inhales, deeper exhales, and then slowly bringing the hips back in, the ankles back in line, the shoulders back in line. I'm just finding a little bit of a mini shavasana here. Taking this time again to notice any rebounding effect. Maybe the two sides are more balanced now. Just noticing what's going on in the body after taking your banana in two different directions. And then we're just going to slowly find our way from over to one side and coming up. Find our way to a butterfly position. Maybe just bringing the soles of the feet together. You can use your blocks here underneath your thighs or underneath your knees, either way. You can have your bolster so that you're just sort of placing it on the inner ankles, hugging it in. You can also have it right there. And you're just leaning forward, maybe using your bolster as like a little chin rest. And your spine is just drooping forward like a palm tree with too many coconuts in it. And you're just resting one of your coconuts on your coconut head on the bolster. And just hanging out here. If your outer ankles don't feel great on the wood, you can put a blanket under them. You can always readjust. You don't have to be stuck in the pose if it doesn't feel right. Just hanging out here for about 3 minutes, and then we'll move on to another pose. Maybe taking this time here to reconnect with any intention you set at the beginning of class. Again, just noticing your breath. Noticing if your body slowly folds into the pose. Or if it needs to back out, that's fine too. We're just scanning the body for sensations here, but you can always readjust. Listening to the body. And listening to the breath. Maybe you find another edge as your body moves deeper into the pose. beginning to deepen the breath, taking a deeper inhale, deeper exhale, just slowly unfurling the spine, back into vertical, slowly removing the cross. Reaching out the legs, pointing and flexing the feet, wiggling it out a little bit. Dropping, taking a little bit of a twist to the right, a little bit of a twist to the left. And then we're going to roll over onto hands and knees again. So maybe you're putting the blanket under the knees if you like. We're going to just take some cats and cows here. So lower the belly, lift the heart, arch the spine. Lower the belly, lift the heart, and arch the spine. And we're going to move into a sleeping swan pose, so you can just bring the right leg forward if you like. You can also take this pose on your back in a figure four variation, and I'll show that too. But maybe you come up to down dog just for a moment to pick up that right leg and bend the knee, open up the hip a little bit. And maybe that helps bring that lower half of that left leg a little further forward than you would if you just brought it forward. You can always readjust if the leg doesn't feel perfect under that back knee. And maybe having a block nearby, either to put under the hip, maybe another block under the forehead, and come down. And it can be a sleeping swan where you're down, or if you'd like to take another back bend, it can be an awake swan. Either way, we'll be here for a couple minutes, and then we'll move on to the other side. So you're either awake or you're asleep. And if this doesn't feel good in that knee, you can always take the pose on your back instead in the figure four variation, where you just bring that ankle, of that right ankle to the left knee, and you're just hanging out here. You can use a strap to bring that left leg in, or your hand. You can also take a block and put a block or two under that left foot. And you don't have to exert yourself bringing that thigh in. You can even use your right hand here to give yourself a little bit of an assist. You don't have to do that either. And whether you're in an awake swan or sleeping swan, or you're here in this figure four, again, you're turning your awareness back to your breath. Noticing your inhale. Noticing your exhale. Scanning the body for sensations, particularly in that right hip. What is the right hip trying to tell you today? And if you're in an awake swan and you'd like to spend the last minute in the sleeping swan, or if you're in a sleeping swan and you'd rather wake up for the last minute, you're welcome to do that. And wherever you are, whatever pose you're in at the moment, just beginning to deepen the breath, taking that deeper inhale, that deeper exhale. And if you're on your back in the figure four variation, just bring that foot off, use your feet to move the blocks to the other side. And then bring your left ankle to your right knee, and your left hand to your left thigh. Simply coming over to the other side. And if you're in the classical Rajakapatasana variation, and you're moving to the other side, maybe you're back up in another downward dog. Maybe you're pedaling the feet a little bit here. And picking up that left leg and opening up that left hip for a moment. Three-legged fire hydrant pose. And slowly in the lower half of that left leg forward. Again, setting up with a block or two, maybe a block under that back hip. The other one under the forehead. And again, can be upright for a back bend. Or you can be down, sleeping variation. And again, either way, you're scanning the body for sensation, listening to the breath. Readjust. You don't have to be frozen. Put a blanket under that back knee if you like. You can always readjust, alter your props any way you need to. If you find some stillness, you might notice your body slowly opening up into the pose. Maybe that inner teacher is telling you to back off. Listening to whatever's coming out of that left hip today, whatever messages that part of the body's trying to tell you about today. And again, you can come down from being upright or go up from being down if you want. listening to the breath, riding the waves of your respiration. Deepen the breath, taking a deeper inhale and a deeper exhale. And you're just going to slowly roll the hands in. And just over onto that left hip. Bring that right leg around. Finding your way under our back if we're not already there. If you're already there, and maybe before you can stay there, maybe bring in your blocks back in. We're going to set up for a bridge pose. Maybe either without support or with support. If you're doing it with support, maybe taking a block. It could just be one block right underneath the pelvis. Maybe 2 blocks. Maybe just one block turned at the medium level. Oh, that feels perfect. And once you're set up here, again, maybe turning your awareness to your breath. Noticing your inhale. Noticing your exhale. You have an option of hanging out here for the duration, or maybe taking a foot up to the sky, maybe both feet up to the sky. The waterfall. Or if you want to, you don't have to. You can just hang out in the supported bridge. Either way, you're just listening to the breath, listening to the sensations in the body. Surrendering to whatever's going on in your environment. If you're up in waterfall and you've had enough and you want to come back and join us in bridge, you can always do that as well. Or stay up there as long as you like, either way. And again, beginning to deepen the breath. Maybe a deeper inhale. A deeper exhale. We'll remove the block. Roll down vertebra by vertebra to the sacrum gland. We'll walk the feet out to the edge of the mat. Taking a little bit of windshield wipering the knees side to side. Stillness. Walk the feet back into the center. And draw the knees into the belly. Apanasana. And just rocking a little bit side to side. Giving the kidneys a massage. Then here you can play with happy baby, reaching for the big toes. The first finger. Finding your happy baby and rocking side to side. You don't have to rock. You just want to stay still, like a dead bug. You do that too. Lengthening the sacrum to the ground, drawing the knees into the armpits, witnessing your breath. Whenever your baby's happy, letting go of the toes, reaching the legs out long, having a big pentacle shavasana, ultimately. If your bolster's nearby, you want to take your bolster and put it underneath your knees, you can. You don't have to. You spread your arms out wide like a star, maybe picking the head up and lengthening the head and then lowering the head back down. Finding your favorite version of Shavasana. Letting go of any special breathing technique you might have had going on. Still pay attention to your breath if you want to. You don't have to. You don't have to pay attention to the sensations in your body unless you want to. Just finding stillness. And again, you can always readjust. And then finding stillness. And just absorbing the benefits of your practice today. Relaxing your feet. Relaxing your ankles and your knees and your hips. Relaxing your pelvis and your spine, your belly, and your shoulders, your arms and your fingers, and relaxing your throat, relaxing your jaw, relaxing the face, relaxing your skull. Letting everything go. All right, and then slowly beginning to find your way back into your body, wherever you might be, deepening your breath, taking a deeper inhale, deeper exhale, slowly beginning to wiggle fingers and toes, wiggling your ankles and your wrists, pointing and flexing the feet, dropping the chin to the left, dropping the chin to the right. And we'll bring the legs together, point the toes, reach the hands up over the head, taking one big long stretch, yawning the body, draw the knees into the torso. We'll just roll over to your right side for a fetal position, seedling pose, pose of new beginnings. Just hanging out there for a moment. You're checking in with how you're feeling now for just the beginning of class. Noticing your breath. Noticing the sensations in the body. You feel ready. No need to rush. Stay there as long as you like. Otherwise, you're going to find our way back up. Maybe the eyes are still closed. On your way back where we started to Sukhasana. Easy seated position. And we'll bring the palms of the hands together to the heart center. Anjali Mudra. And we'll close today's practice with one chant of Om. We'll take a cleansing breath first, just taking a deep inhale through the nose and exhaling. And inhaling deeply to Om. Slowly opening the eyes. Namaste. Thanks for coming to Yin Yoga. And again, my name is Steven, and hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. And I hope to see you again soon. Peace.